Hello guys, welcome or welcome back in your favorite community, that is Vice Crypto, and today we are doing space with one of the famous project, Kelp DAO. So yeah, be ready and be ready for the live segment as also, and put your volumes up because it's going to be very informative, very wonderful session. And make sure like and read this space also. We will start shortly. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, guys, so yeah, please wait. Our guest is going to join us very soon. And um, before start, you can check our tabs out documentation, their website, their white paper. You will get more deeper information over there. And our guest is going to inform about Kelp DAO more in detail. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so hello to the person behind the Kelp DAO.
Hello. Go Multichain here, head of ecosystem at Kelp DAO. Glad to be here with you today.
Glad to have you here today. So, are you ready? Shall we start?
Yes, absolutely.
And is there anyone who is going to join you as a speaker, or you are the only one today?
Yes, I'll be the only one from Kelp.
Okay, wonderful. So yeah, let's start. So hey everyone, happy to see you all today. I'm your host and my name is Lovely. I'll be guiding you through this AMS session. Today we are doing space with Kelp DAO. So we will discuss about their recent endeavors and future plans. Also remember that you have the option to conduct your own research to get more comprehensive understanding of their work. So, for this purpose, we have a very special guest with us, Gone Multi-Chain. So, he's going to represent Kelp DAO today. So, stay tuned and put your volume up. And yeah, one more thing before we move forward, I would like to remind or bring your attention that today's AMA comprises of two segments. First, we have the introductory segment where I will ask some basic questions related to the Kelp DAO, and then we have the your favorite segment, that is the live one. So yeah, stay tuned and prepare some insightful questions for the live segment. Okay, so yeah, let's start with the first segment. Okay, sir. So could you please introduce about yourself and about Kelp DAO in detail to our audience? Please go ahead.
Yeah, so Kelp DAO, it's a DAO that's focusing on liquid restaking. Liquid restaking is a new narrative that started a few months ago when mainly EigenLayer released a restaking platform that has been on testnet for a few months and has recently come to mainnet. So what we're doing in Kelp DAO is we're focusing on resolving the main challenges, the main issues that restaking can pose to the different actors in the ecosystem. The actors are the restakers, people like you and me that can restake the ETH to earn additional yield. Also, the AVSs. AVSs are services that build on top of EigenLayer, giving a service to different blockchains or DeFi apps. And also the operators, that are the people that are running nodes for this whole ecosystem, right? So the same that you have an L1 or an L2, a blockchain that's providing a service, which is filling their blocks with data that's stored in a decentralized manner, you can also have different services, different AVSs that are giving a service. For example, they can decentralize a sequencer, or they can decentralize many different parts of things that you can put in a blockchain, but they will need different node operators to do that stuff, and they will need to be secured by they will need to have economic security. And so the EigenLayer idea is, instead of having to create a token out of the blue, just to give that economic security, we can do that with an asset that's already widely available and widely accepted. And that asset, in this case, is ETH, right? Is Ether. So that's a little bit what we're doing at Kelp DAO. We're simplifying life for the different actors in the risk-taking ecosystem.
Okay, that's awesome. And Kelp DAO sounds like a promising venture, especially with the experienced founder from Stader Labs and their success in the multi-chain liquid staking space. And I'm very curious to see how their LRT solution and rsETH on Ignis layer for Ethereum will contribute to the blockchain ecosystem and address key challenges in this space. So, moving on, so how does Kelp DAO plan to leverage their experience with the Stader Labs in building liquid restaking solution?
Sorry, can you repeat that last question? I didn't get the last part of the question.
Yeah, for sure. So, how does Kelp DAO plan to leverage their experience with Stader Labs in building liquid restaking solution?
Sure. So, look, the founders of Kelp DAO are Amitej and Dheeraj, are previously founders of Stader Labs. And Stader Labs is a 3-year-old company that has been focused on liquid staking, have created liquid staking solution in 8 different chains, used to have $1 billion TVL back in Terra. Today, it has around 700 million TVL, depending on the different how the token prices fluctuate. But basically, those 3 years of experience building LSTs, liquid stake tokens, is very nicely leveraged to build now liquid restake tokens. Why? Because it has a lot of things in common. What you are doing when you liquefy staking is to make easier for the staker to have their money readily available, to sell it, for example, or to use it as liquidity on a DEX, or to use it as a collateral in a money market, right? Like Aave, for example. So you can have the best of both worlds. You can have an asset that's generating yield for you, but at the same time, you're using that as a collateral to borrow some money, to borrow some stable coins and do something. So many of the principles that you have in LSTs can be replicated in an LRT. So what the team working at Kelp has been focusing over the last year is on understanding the restaking narrative, how EigenLayer is building this restaking narrative, and focusing also not only on what can we offer to the restakers, but most importantly, what can we offer to the AVSs, to these services that they need economic security, and they're not going to create an additional token to build that economic security upon, right? So that's in a nutshell. But just to give you an example, for example, Stader Labs has more than 70 DeFi integrations over the different chains. And so that connections that they have built with money markets like Aave, Compound, with DEXs, they can be leveraged for Kelp too, right? That's in a nutshell how LSTs and LRTs share a lot of things in common.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Thanks for the answer. And now I have another very good question for you. So, this question says like, there's a lot of, or I see a plenty of project related to the LRT. So, what set Kelp DAO LRT solution or restaking Ethereum apart from other project in this space?
Yes, so very good question. Kelp DAO was actually the first project to talk about LRTs, kind of coining the term, so to speak. We did it first in the Stader Labs forum back in June. We were also the first ones to issue a light paper about what we were set out to build in EigenLayer. And we are coming with that 3-year experience on liquid staking building upon. What we are focusing a lot in the last few months is on that relationship that we are having with the AVSs, right? Because right now, the restaking narrative is a lot about farming points for future airdrops. What is the value of an EigenLayer point? What is the value of a Kelp mile? But when those airdrops finish, let's say in June, or when these airdrops finish in a couple months, it's now time to show the product, right? What's going to matter is what's your product doing and which product is superior, right? And you could see a lot of TVL migrating from one project to another. You're going to see mercenary capital leaving because they will go to farm something else. So what we are focusing on is on that post airdrop time when EigenLayer mainnet is out, you have 10 or 20 different AVSs, and now it's time a little bit to show the product. So we are building very healthy relationships with the different AVSs, with the different services, and we are sure that Kelp risk takers are going to enjoy a lot of perks, a lot of benefits for being risk takers with us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We love hearing so far about the Kelp DAO, and it's exciting to see like how a Restake Ethereum can offer flexibility and liquidity to user in the DeFi space. So, another good question for you. Like this question says, like, what potential impact could Kelp DAO liquid restaking solution have on the broader cryptocurrency ecosystem?
Yes, so LRTs are, I'm sure they're going to redefine the whole liquid staking and liquid risk taking narrative, because if liquid staking was already giving you the chance to earn that yield from staking, help secure the Ethereum network, and at the same time not relinquishing the capital and being able to use it as a collateral for a liquid providing position or a money market. Now you're going to be able to do the same with a risk taking position. So you are going to be able to secure not only Ethereum, but also 5 or 10 different services building atop of EigenLayer. That's going to give you additional yield. For example, maybe instead of looking at a 4% staking yield, you are going to be looking at a 8% combined risk taking yield. And on top of that, you're still going to have a pristine collateral that you can use in money market or in LPs, right? So you are going to have superior yields. It's going to come with superior risk, but that's the point where either you or the liquid risk taking provider needs to do the due diligence, and we can talk about that in the future. But you are basically going to have additional yield for those people having the appetite for additional risk, right? And we are already seeing it because we have more than $12 billion combined for all the LRTs, not the LRT, sorry, but EigenLayer positions in general. I think LRTs are having around $7 or $8 billion, and you already start seeing those tokens being accepted in top money markets like Aave and Compound, right? So there is the general opinion that these tokens are safe as collateral, right? Even in the most stringent capital markets out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's interesting, and thanks for the clarification. So now let's talk about the partnership and collaboration. So, are there any partnership or collaboration that CapDAO has announced to further or their future goals?
Yes, so I'm going to be taking here about two types of collaboration, two categories of collaboration, and then I'm going to deep dive on each of them. The first type of collaborations that we do are with different L1s, L2s, where we are bringing our LRTs. And then I'm going to talk about the AVSs, right? The services we are providing economic security to. So, first, talking about L1s, L2s, although the whole EigenLayer and risk-taking narrative happens in Ethereum mainnet, you can bring the LRTs to different L2s like Arbitrum, like Optimism, like Base, Scroll, etc. In particular, for us, we are already live in Arbitrum, Scroll, Mode, and Blast, and we are going live on different L2s over the next week. And you are going to see that because we're announcing it very soon. But basically, we are making sure that nobody is left aside of LRTs just because the Ethereum mainnet fees are high, right? So you will still have the opportunity to earn EigenLayer points and Kelp miles and still pay like 1 or 2 or 3 cents per transaction. Now, we not only partner with these L1s, L2s, but we partner with all the DeFi players in those chains. For example, the different dexes or money markets like Thruster and Orbit in Blast, or like Camelot and Silo in Arbitrum, for example. So I believe we have around 40 DeFi collaborations and counting from today. Now, that's the first category of collaborations we have. The second category of collaborations we have is AVSs, services which we are providing economic security to. Today, we have around 700 million of TVL. And with these 700 million, we can use that money to provide economic security to people providing services on EigenLayer. So we have already partnered with Witness Chain, with Omni, with Lagrange, right? These are projects that are building on top of EigenLayer, and they need that restaked Ethereum to make their services secure, right? To make sure that there is an economic incentive to do to perform operations in the chain by the operators, and to make sure that the activities that are happening on that service are economically viable, right? So, for instance, if you look at Ethereum, you have 27% of the ETH staked, and that is what makes Ethereum a very safe chain, because there are billions of dollars securing the Ethereum chain. You can objectively say that because Ethereum is the proof of stake blockchain with most money staked, it's also the chain that's most secure. You can use that as an objective parameter to say that, for example, Ethereum is safer than Solana or safer than Polygon. So, in a similar way, when you're an AVS, your security is going to be determined by how many millions of restaked ETH is being restaked. So these AVSs are going to come to projects like Kelp, are going to ask for a certain amount of Ether restaked to be pledged to their projects, and in exchange, they are going to give additional yield, additional perks to Kelp restakers, right? So those are the two different types, categories of collaborations we have.
Okay, thank you, and happy to know about it, and hope you achieve all this goal very soon as well, and all the very best from our side. So moving on, so we heard a lot about the Kelp DAO, so we all would love to know more about their milestone. So what milestone has the Kelp DAO achieved since its inception, particularly in the development of rsETH?
Yes, so we went live accepting deposits on 12th of December. So meaning we are just like, we are a 5 month old baby. And in those 5 months, we have achieved 700 million TVL. And other milestones I can mention are the release of the light paper, the release of the different audits we have audited for our code, and the release of the Kelp Miles, which is basically a point system that will become the Kelp token when we decentralize our project. And the next milestones that we are now focusing on the L1, L2 expansion. As I said, we are live on 3 different chains, and we will go live on 5 or 6 different chains over the next 1 month. We will also be releasing withdrawals over the next month. We are currently auditing the code. And then we will be decentralizing the project via our governance token over the next couple of months, I would say, right? So this is what our roadmap looks like for the next 2-3 months. And of course, once the AVSs start going mainnet, there are going to be a lot of perks for the Kelp restakers that we will be announcing when it's due.
Okay, yeah. Got it, got it. And now I have last question for you before we move ahead to live segment. So I would like to remind my all listener that guys, please be ready with your good question, and I will unmute you, and our guest is going to answer your query, your question. So yeah, be ready for that. So last question says like, what are the long-term goal and vision Kelp DAO beyond the development of rsETH?
Well, for now we're focusing on rsETH because at the end of the day is the token that's liquefying your position in the risk-taking ecosystem, right? So far, as I said, we are connected to 40 different DeFi projects and live in 4 different chains. But there is virtually, I mean, there are hundreds of L1s, L2s, proof of stake blockchains where we can bring rsETH to, and hundreds of different DeFi apps we can bring rsETH to, right? So we are just getting started on this quest. It just started a month ago. So there is still a lot of room for us to grow. Bear in mind also that there are currently just a handful of AVSs going live in mainnet. You currently have only about 5 of them, but you are also going to have hundreds of them going live. So the possibilities are endless. EigenLayer just went live on mainnet a few weeks ago. So, I mean, just to give you an example, right? This is like when Ethereum went mainnet on 2015, and then flash forward to today, how many hundreds of chains are building on top of Ethereum, how many dApps, how many everything, right? So asking what else is coming after rsETH, it doesn't make sense because there is just so much that our mind cannot see, right? I mean, it's such an nascent ecosystem that's basically moving by the day, right? So for us, we are focusing on giving the best service to both risk takers, AVSs, and operators, which are the 3 different actors in the risk taking ecosystem.
All right. Thanks for the great detail and this concise answer. That's nice. That was it from the introductory part. People, you just need to stay tuned and support them. Also, to know more about their update and future plans by joining all the social links of CalDAO. And don't worry, you can find all the social links of CalDAO on Wise Crypto X handle and in our Telegram as well. So yeah, please do follow all the social links of CalDAO. And now it's time to start our another segment that is the live one. So in this segment, I will unmute some of the listener and they will ask you the question. So the first speaker we have is Elena. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
My question is, what is the revenue model of the project? In what ways do you generate income and profit?
Yes, so for now, Kelp is not taking any revenue fee from the risk taking positions. But at a certain time, we're going to turn on the revenue fee switch. We'll be taking 5 or 10% of the staking and restaking revenues. And then we will see whether we are sharing these. It will go to the treasury first, but then it will be the Kelp token holders who are going to decide what to do with these fees, right? They can be going to the Kelp token holders, or we can do something else with it, right? So as of now, not being taken from, at a certain point, there will be a revenue fee switch turning on. That's for the part of the LSTs because we accept both native ETH and LSTs. From the native ETH, yes, we are taking a 10% revenue fee.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you for the question, Elena. And next speaker we have is Semi. Go ahead, unmute yourself. Okay, yeah. Ray, go ahead. Yeah.
Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my question for Kelp DAO, I saw Kelp DAO is partnered with Mod Network, so I want to know like what is the benefit of this partnership?
Partnership between Kelp and who else? Sorry.
I saw that Kelp DAO is partnered with Mod Network, so I want to know what is the benefit of this partnership.
Sorry, I still don't get smooth network.
Yeah, Mod Network.
I'm sorry, I don't really get the question. I mean, I don't know which partnership you're referring to. Lovely, do you know? Can you help rephrase the question?
I'm so sorry, sir, but I'm also not able to hear him properly. Sammy, please clear your echo. There's a lot of echo in the
Okay,
background.
can you
Yeah.
hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Could you please type down your question and I will ask that question on behalf of you.
Okay.
Yeah. So next we have Sekiru. Go ahead and ask your question, buddy.
Hello, Antonio. So I'm not that bright, so I just wanted to know in layman terms, what's the Kelp miles and EigenLayer points really mean? Does it position me for any retrospective airdrops or benefits in the nearest future?
Yes, so basically when you restake with Kelp, you are accruing two type of points. You are accruing EigenLayer points at the same rate that you would accrue it if you're restaking directly in EigenLayer, meaning you're getting 24 points per day per ETH, basically 1 point per hour. And then you are getting Kelp miles. So Kelp miles are becoming an airdrop. We have already announced that. So Kelp miles will become Kelp tokens at a certain point during the year. Now, EigenLayer points is not 100% clear what they're going to become. Some say they are going to have Eigen token. Some say there might be no Eigen token, but the AVSs might use that Eigen points to give some benefits to risk takers for their own tokens or for whatever else. Now, what happens is that because you're accruing all the EigenLayer points, you are getting whatever the AVSs give you. For example, Alt Layer gave an airdrop a couple months ago, and they were taking the EigenLayer points as a criteria for the airdrop. So because you get 100% of the EigenLayer points with Kelp, Kelp risk takers got all the alt airdrop they would have gotten if they were restaking directly in EigenLayer. So they're getting the best of EigenLayer, the airdrops, etc., but they are also getting Kelp miles and they're getting rsETH, which is a liquid token that you can earn more rewards in money markets, indexes, etc. So you're basically getting the best of both worlds.
All right, Sekiru. Hope you got your answer, buddy. All right.
Yeah, I did. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for the question. And next we have Dominic. Go ahead, ask a question.
Yeah, my question is, can I unstake our liquid staking token anytime, or is there will be any penalties if we unstake before certain times?
Yes. So right now, withdrawals are not enabled yet. We are auditing the code, and it's coming end of April. So in just like 2-3 weeks, it should go live. When they go live, you can unstake anytime, no penalty whatsoever. What you can do today already, it's because rsETH has very deep liquidity in mainnet, in Blast, in Arbitrum. So at any time you can go and you can sell your rsETH and you get ETH back, right? So as always with an LRT or with an LST, you have both options. You can do unstake with no penalty, or you can sell that in a DEX.
Okay, got it.
All right, thanks for the question, buddy. And next we have Stricker Dao. Go ahead, ask a question.
Gem guys, am I audible? Gem guys, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. My question is can you elaborate on Kelp DAO's plans for integrating decentralized oracles network to ensure the accuracy and reliability of on-chain data feeds for seaweed farming operations? Do you get that?
Yes. So we are working. Oh, I think you need to mute yourself. Yeah. So we are using Redstone and Chainlink as the main oracles across the different chains where we are live. Now, in particular, you're asking decentralized oracles. Okay, so I mean, each oracle works in a different way, but I'd say that Chainlink and Redstone are the market leaders, right? And they are widely accepted on leading DeFi protocols, like, for example, Aave and Compound, which are the epitome of risk averse protocols that take security very seriously. And so, I mean, that's my answer, right? In general, in Kelp, we are working with the best in class DeFi projects, oracles, L1s, L2s, etc.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the answer.
All right, thank you, Shikida, for the question. And yes, I got the question from Ray. He was asking, I saw that Kelp DAO recently got partners with the um, Modern Network. So, can you tell us what's the benefit of this partnership?
Okay, Mode network. Okay, so Mode is a L2 that's using optimism, right? It's a super chain. And so basically, we're bringing rsETH there. And so you are going to be able to farm Mode points, which are becoming an airdrop. At the same time, you farm rsETH, which is giving you Kelp miles, and it's giving you EigenLayer points, right? So by doing liquid providing on places like Kim Exchange or using money markets like Ionic, you are farming 4 different airdrops at a time. You're farming Mode, you're farming that particular Mode protocol, you're farming Kelp miles, and you're farming layer points, right? So this is one of the things you can do. You can also do it to Blast. In Blast, you also have the same situation. You have Blast apps, you have Blast protocol, which are announcing airdrops coming soon, and etc. Right? Basically, you can have a lot of airdrops at the same time, and you can be paying cents for every transaction.
All right. I hope Ray got his answer actually. And I think we completed our second segment also, and it's time to wrap up. So before wrapping up, so do you want to say something to our community? Anything you would like to convey or any other information you can, please go ahead.
Sorry, Lovely, can you repeat that one?
Yeah. I think we completed the second segment also, and it's time to wrap up. So, before wrapping up, do you want to say something to our community or any other information that we didn't cover during the session? You can please go ahead.
Cool.
Yeah.
So let me just wrap up everything. It was great to have all of you, and this is such a vibrant community, so many questions. So in a nutshell, what we are doing at Kelp DAO is having this liquid restake token, which is rsETH, and you can have the best of both worlds. You can have access to Kelp miles and EigenLayer points, but at the same time, your position is not locked. You receive back a token that you can use in DeFi. And today, DeFi is so hot that you can also be farming different airdrops with, right? Because you can have L1s, L2s, which are announcing a lot of airdrops coming soon. So you can provide liquidity in a DEX, or you can use it on a money market. So the possibilities are endless. This is why in the last 2 months, we have partnered with more than 40 different DeFi protocols over 4 different chains. But this is just the beginning. We have few more L1s, L2s, and few more DeFi protocols coming. So I believe that, in the next 1 or 2 months, we're gonna hit 100 different protocols in partnership and at least 10 or 12 different L1s, L2s. So definitely keep an eye on Kelp DAO. Follow us on Twitter. The future is bright, and we have 700 million, but I'm very sure we're gonna hit 1 billion very, very soon. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks for such a wonderful presentation, and thank you for your time. And your insights were incredibly informative actually. And I would like to extend my appreciation to all the listeners who joined this fantastic AMS session. And guys, if you have more question or need any assistance with anything related to the Kelp DAO, feel free to drop this question on their social platform. Their community manager, their lead member will definitely going to answer those questions to you. So yeah, keep support this project, and all the very best from our side. See you next time. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye, guys. It was a pleasure.